Wow. Jim Farley has just come out firing. He said BYD are way ahead of Tesla. They're on a scale well beyond Tesla. They're way more vertically integrated than Tesla. Their batteries are better than Tesla's 4680 batteries. Wowzers. This is some serious shots being fired by the CEO of Ford. Jim Farley, he's been the Ford CEO for quite a while. He knows exactly who BYD are, and yet he's made some very strange comments. He says that BYD is Ford's biggest competitor, not Tesla, not even by a long shot. Apparently it is BYD. Now, the big issue that I have here is the majority of Ford's car sales now are basically in North America. Does Jim Farley believe then that BYD is soon coming to the United States, to Canada, to Mexico? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. As you can see, I am a little bit baffled by this statement from Jim Farley. Anyhow, great to have all you new subscribers. Make sure you check out some of the 3,400 videos we've created over the last 24 months. The reason we're so prolific here is because there's so much going on. And if you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's going on. How do you invest if you don't know what's going on? The point here is I try to bring you lots of different angles around the news. And it's true, BYD has a lot of different models of car. Their prices are compelling. They're the second biggest battery manufacturer in the world. They're growing faster than any other car company on the face of the earth. It's actually a bit intimidating how fast they're growing. I think there's some really amazing things they're doing and some other things that are not so amazing. Their battery technology is excellent. Their sodium batteries, well, that could be a game changer for BYD. The fact that they manufacture lithium iron phosphate batteries, they now supply Tesla with those. Apparently those batteries in the Model Y mean the Model Y is a bit better in Europe now that it's got the new BYD blade batteries, structural batteries, by the way. There's some pretty interesting stuff they're doing. Now, if you're wondering what I'm talking about with that Tesla battery, I'll put a link in the description below to the changes Tesla made going from CATL's lithium iron phosphate battery to BYD's structural blade battery pack. And apparently the car is actually better with a smaller battery, still getting the same range, faster charging. Yeah, you can see where BYD are really kicking some goals. Now, there's some other things BYD are doing that are a bit baffling to me. I just want to disclose to you guys, I am invested in BYD, not a whole lot of money, but I do have a small investment in them. But I still have to say, I don't really think it's a good strategy to have 70 different models of car. Now, I don't know exactly the number of models they've got. I haven't put them all down on paper because it changes. If I wrote them down now, in 5 minutes' time, it would have changed. Yeah, I'm exaggerating. There's so many models, though. It's hard to keep track. It really is. They've got 2 new brands. No, actually, I lie. 3 new brands. Denza, it's not a new brand, but it's kind of new to BYD because BYD owned 50% of this brand with Mercedes-Benz, the Denza brand. And then BYD ended up buying out the majority of Mercedes' stake. After that, BYD went, oh, we'll actually do something with this brand now. And they start producing cars. And so now BYD have that brand. Plus, they've got the Yangwang brand, making upmarket, very expensive, luxurious EVs now with the new U8. Very cool car, but very, very pricey. Kind of like, Lamborghini type price territory. You're looking at $200,000 US, that kind of thing. Plus, they've got another new car brand coming out with the most weird name. I don't remember what it was, but it's so bizarre. I don't know how to pronounce it. BYD, so many models, so much going on. And I think it's really the complete opposite Tesla. It really is. I mean, vertical integration is a big part of BYD's principles, but how vertically integrated are they really today now they're making so many models of car? I believe their vertical integration has to have come down. There's just no possible way they can be making all these different components. Imagine all the factories they'd need to have to be supplying all the different parts going on to all these different products. And then, add to that, the models they're exporting now are now different to the models they make in China. That's a big change. The new BYD Dolphin. It won't be the Chinese version. They're actually making an extended wheelbase version of that car, meaning that basically there are 2 different models of that car, plus multiple models within the model of the Dolphin. As you can see, a little bit of excess complexity going on. Jim Farley, though, believes that they're on the right track. He believes you should be very scared of BYD. He's a bit intimidated by their progress. And I think full respect to BYD from going from being a company that no one really respected or cared about or even barely even knew exist. Elon Musk said their cars suck. He said that many years ago and he was right. They've since improved and Elon doesn't think that anymore. I can tell you that now for sure. Jim Farley said that Chinese companies such as Warren Buffett's backed BYD, by the way, quoting Warren Buffett's investment in BYD is no longer a positive, I don't think, anyway, because the media, the American media, do this constantly. In every single article ever written by CNBC or any other media organization, they always say the Warren Buffett backed BYD. But the thing is, Berkshire Hathaway are continuing to divest their position in BYD constantly. You can, make up your own reasons on why you think that is, but they've sold their stock many, many times over the last 6 months in gradual pieces so as not to tank the stock. They still do own a significant share, but whether or not they continue to sell, well, it appears as though they're just going to keep on selling. So we'll see where that goes. Farley said, "We see the Chinese as the main competitor to Ford, not GM, not Toyota." He used BYD as the prime example of a Chinese automaker that has successfully developed and sold EVs first in China and now in Europe. "I like BYD. Totally vertically integrated, aggressive, very, very impressive company. And they were always committed to electric," said Farley. BYD has grown its sales in China from 445,000 in 2015 to nearly 2 million units last year. The reality is that 445,000 number in 2015 is sort of meaningless because they were only at about that figure only 3 years ago. Like 2 years ago, in fact, they're at about 500,000. So they've actually quadrupled their sales in the space of about less than 24 months, which is amazing. And what it means is that now, based on the first quarter of 2023, they are the largest automaker in China. And if you think about this objectively, they're really clearly the largest because their competition, such as Volkswagen, Toyota, Nissan, etc., all of them only own a joint venture partnership. So they only own 50% of the cars that they sell in China. But BYD owns 100% of the cars they sell in China. So actually, they're a fair way ahead of everyone else in China. Jim Farley's comments actually echo those of industry experts and investors regarding the growth of BYD and Chinese electric car manufacturers. BYD has a huge place both from the electric vehicle perspective and the battery production side, Philip Rittman, portfolio manager at Store Brand Asset Management, told CNBC recently. Rittman, who manages the $1 billion Store Brand Global Solutions Sustainable Fund, highlighted BYD's developments in cheaper sodium-ion battery technology, which could potentially replace lithium batteries. He said, "These could become prevalent in BYD's affordable EVs and help increase profit margins for the company." And I agree with this 100%. Farley also said that BYD's battery advantages compared to the current US industry standard of lithium-ion batteries are vast. And well, clearly Farley believes this because he believes that lithium iron phosphate batteries, which are the primary battery type that BYD manufacture, are very important for Ford. I mean, Ford have announced a mega factory in the United States manufacturing lithium iron phosphate batteries, licensing CATL's technology, their lithium iron phosphate technology. Now, obviously, that's what BYD do, and they do it very well. Ford earlier this year announced a new collaboration with China's contemporary Amperex technology company, CATL, for a new $3.5 billion plant to build those batteries in Michigan. The facility will produce new lithium iron phosphate batteries, which are called LFP batteries, as opposed to the pricier nickel cobalt manganese batteries with lithium that the company currently uses, that GM currently use, that Volkswagen use, that Tesla use, 4680 cells use nickel-based chemistry batteries. I mean, most companies use lithium, what they call ternary batteries, which are usually nickel-based chemistry, and the alternative to that is lithium iron phosphate. That's what BYD does. I mean, 98% of BYD's current fully electric cars come with lithium iron phosphate battery packs. Ford's factory, their new factory using that technology, will open in the US in 2026 and employ 2,500 people, said Ford. Now, Farley actually had a real dig at Tesla. He said BYD's scale is way bigger than Tesla now, and they developed the LFP technology, which is a better battery. So it seems as though Jim Farley believes that BYD's blade batteries are better than Tesla's 4680 cells. Now, I don't agree with that. They're different. One of them is good in one way, one's good in another way. I'll have a video coming soon on what those differences are, but I strongly disagree with Jim Farley's comments there. They've both got pros and cons. However, it's worth pointing out that Marco Rubio, the senator, has asked the Biden administration to look at Ford's deal with CATL. CATL is the largest battery company in the world. And Marco Rubio, basically some Republicans don't like the fact that Ford will be licensing Chinese technology to build their battery factory in the US. Now, Ford doesn't have any choice, really. They don't have their own lithium iron phosphate technology. Pretty much no one does outside of China. You don't have a lot of choice here. I think Ford just has to do this. So it's not like Jim Farley saying, oh, well, we could choose between this, this, and this, and we're going to do that. Ford are just saying, well, we have to do this. We have no choice. If we want to have affordable batteries and actually not lose 20,000 per car, we have to do this. There's no other choice. So I can see where Ford are coming from in making that decision. Do I agree with Jim Farley's comments? Well, Jim Farley has been having a dig at Tesla in a few different ways over the last few months. Before that, he was fairly positive and praising a lot of things that Tesla did. Recently, I think he feels more threatened by Tesla. That really is the only way that I can explain why Jim has been, firing shots at Tesla, when if anything, Tesla's done the opposite. I mean, for example, Elon Musk has praised Ford's electric vehicle strategy, been very effusive, very positive about Ford's strategy, and Jim's just gone, yeah, okay, great, bang, bang, bang. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.